Good evening and welcome once again to the Whiskey Cowboy Live. Tonight's date is March 24th, 2024. It is a Sunday. Sunday. Welcome to the show. And hello, Laurel. Laurel just joined the show. Got a bit of phlegm this evening, and I got a headache that started in about an hour before the show. I think it's the weather. But we'll be doing just fine. Fine as wine. Right as rain. I'd like to welcome all you potato farmers out there. keeping our country free. Free and secure. Free and secure. I've started my potato memes. I put up 4 today. I got on a roll. I should have just, it would have been a potato roll. Yeah, John got on a potato roll today. I made 4. I should have just posted up 1, but I was on a roll. It's like, no, this is too good to pass up. So we got four tater memes. Go ahead and pass them around. And share with all your friends and family, because that's what's going to help keep this country free and safe. Secure indeed, those tater fields down on the southern border. So I'll be making more of them. I got some more ideas. I'll be sliding them out there. Let's see here. How's the sound going? The sound should be pretty good. It looks like I'm peaking. Doing normal and then peeking into the red, but I've got pretty strong compression on, so I shouldn't be blasting. Tonight's coffee is hazelnut cream from New England brand. Nummy num. Laurel says, sounds great. Thank you. I noticed after the show that the lighting was a bit bright on the last show. I mean, it's fine, but is it still too bright? I cranked her up this evening, and I'm looking at it. It looks fine. It was a little bright the last show, Wednesday. Looks fine on this screen, but I don't know how it is on everybody else's screen. If it's a tad bit too bright, I can tone that down just a little bit. I have to go into settings, but she says, I think it looks good. Fantastic. Eventually, I'll be able to adjust all of those settings by adjusting my lights. Because eventually, what I'll do is I'll get all LED lighting. I need two banks of LED lights. To replace my main light over here and my main light over there. I got 4 lights, 5. I got one light that's my standard lamp, and it comes down here and it'll light up everything that I put out in front here. That's what that lights up. If I turn it off, you see that it doesn't light up as well. It's not too bad. Actually, that's not too bad. I think I'm going to keep that off unless I need to light something up. I like that. That's better. I turned it on because when I was bringing up stuff up to the camera, you couldn't see it very well. Let's see if this will go. Yeah, see, now you can't see it very well. But let me try that other one. Didn't help out that much. And it's because I've got a new setup. From my other one. Hey, Gus. Gus says, looks good on my 2-inch by 3-inch screen. Yeah, it always looks best on a cell phone. I like it best on a cell phone. So, yeah, I'll keep that off. But then I got a big light here, main light. I got another main light over here. I'd like panels. Probably good, I don't know, 17 by 25 or larger. Either side. One against the wall on that side. My main light over here. And then I've got my spotlights that light up the bookshelves. So that's four constant lights running. Well, I got the overhead light, but that doesn't affect the show. It doesn't affect the show. So, Gus, you back home? Hazelnut cream. That's good stuff. It's good nutty. Each of the nuts. I do pistachio. I do hazelnut. Pecan. It's different. We got 4 to 6 inches of snow this time around, and it's out there. Should be gone by the end of the week. He says, yes, sir. We got back around 6:30 last night. Oh, fantastic. Hope everybody had a fantastic time down there. Make sure you snag those tater memes and share them with friends and family, Gus. Waiting for folks to slide on in. Hey, something that folks need to be aware of. We're heading into another gun control season. And the left is pushing real hard, and the left are pushing out quote-unquote data. And the data that they're putting out is much like the data concerning Rovid. Where remember they said that so many deaths were caused by Rovid. And you find out it's like, no, somebody died and they either had Rovid, had the antibodies for Rovid, or it got so bad that it was, even if they could have possibly in some time come in contact with somebody that had Rovid, they counted it as a Rovid death. This is how you mess up the numbers. Well, they're going to do the same thing with guns. And the latest trick that's been found is to use the phrase, used in the commission of a crime. Used in the commission of a crime. What that really means is, for some reason, there was a police interaction and they did something illegal, or it was thought that they did something illegal, which gave the police justification to search. Like, let's say you get pulled over for speeding and you get a speeding ticket. And then in the process of that, they notice you have a firearm and you're not legal to have a firearm, and they find that out. Well, you weren't committing a crime using a firearm. You did something, and you had a gun on you. So the stats are going, that encounter right there are in the commission of a crime. So that saying from now on, no, it does not mean necessarily what people thinks it means. Gus says that all they got was rain. The grass was green as can be. Well, that's good. That's good. We got snow. I don't like snow. So be prepared to have, like I said, this twist of phrase, this terminology, which does not actually apply to what you think it applies to, applied out there. So that means anytime somebody gets pulled over for a traffic stop, somebody gets into a scuffle, somebody is drunk driving, somebody is, I don't know, anything, trespass, anything. Somebody's dealing drugs, and they got a gun on them. It's going to go into the firearm used in the commission of a crime, even though it wasn't used, it was just there. It might as well say sneakers used in the commission of a crime, or a cowboy hat or a baseball cap used in the commission of a crime. Jeans used in the commission of a crime, because the criminal, or whatever it happens to be, had that. You know, they don't say knives. If somebody has a knife on them, they don't use it as unless they actually use that to assault somebody or threaten somebody. But that's not what they're doing with firearms now. So be prepared. Be prepared. Because they're pulling out all the stops. What else we got going on here? What else we going on? Going on. Mexico. They're like, if illegal aliens, if illegal invaders get to the United States, you cannot bring them back into Mexico. You can't kick them out. They're doing this in response to Texas trying to enforce immigration laws. It's like, no. Got all sorts of ideas out there. People, put them on a catapult. You can use a catapult. Trebuchet. Much bigger. Yeah. You can load up a whole bunch of them. In a shipping container. Trebuchet them into Mexico. What are the Mexicans going to do? They can't control their drug cartel. What are they going to do? We kick illegal invaders that came from their country into the United States. We kick them back into Mexico. What are they going to do, really? Nothing. Well, they're getting their heckles up. No take backs. And how's about you stop them on your southern border? If they shouldn't be in your country, why don't you stop them? Don't allow them to travel all the way through your country to our southern border and then cross into ours. Peggy says, hey there, we are closely watching the fight over SAPA here in Missouri. SAPA. Why doesn't that ring a bell? SAPA. It's in Vietnam. Sudanese American Physicians Association. I don't think that's what it is either. Let's see here. What the hell is SAPA? Travel to Vietnam. That's what's coming up. What SAPA? I don't think it's Sudanese. Oh, Second Amendment protection. Second Amendment Protection Act, I would assume that means. Okay, so I'm like, what the hell? There's nothing's coming up. So Missouri, what are they doing? Somebody put forth an act. A few states have done that. There we go. HB 85. Oh, on the 7th, a judge overruled Missouri's Second Amendment Protection Act, ruling it was unconstitutional. How can, I just don't get this. How can a law which further enforces the Constitution of the United States unconstitutional? St. Louis is trying to overturn it. I'd imagine they are. Second Amendment Preservation Act, not Protection Act, Preservation Act. I'm going back all the way to October, and they're saying that it's the most incompetently drafted statute to reach the Supreme Court. I haven't pulled it up. I'd have to look into it further. Like I said, I know there's a few states that have done that. Gus says it's like the show Yellowstone. Take them to the train station. We'll have a new one. Let's plant some potatoes. That's right. Yeah, I'll look into that. I'll put that in. Let's see here. Put that in this week's look into. There we go. Put this over here. Yeah, I will look into that one. Yeah, take them to the train station. The thing is they had brought that little skinny turd to the train station, but didn't. Let him stay around. Yeah, don't you Gus, you're trying to get me worked up over the Yellowstone cast. He goes, yeah, it's a Sunday. Good time to get worked up. It's a Sunday. Sunday. Still waiting for word on the dulcimer. Got one more week. I was told, yeah, it's pushed off until March. Like, okay. And that was, I think, February. End of January, I think it was. I contacted him. I'm like, yeah, I haven't gotten word. So put the order in November. So yeah, it's pushed back another month. Okay. That's April. That's March. It's March. Gus says not really. But it works. We can go with that. You stir in the pot. So yeah. So I got one more week in this month. So hopefully I'll get a message this week. If I don't get a message this week, I'll contact him again. Say, hey, yeah, I'm a patient man. I believe in deadlines and timelines though. So if you said 6 months, not a problem. If you said a year, not a problem. If you said a year, I wouldn't have ordered it. I'd have gone with somebody else. But I wanted him. But yeah. I'll wait, and I won't hound you. But if you don't make your timeline, I'll give you a buzz. Say, hey. A little bit itchy. So yeah, 1 week. Hopefully I'll get a message this week and say, hey John, your dulcimer's getting wrapped up. I'm like, good. Let me see how much the damage is going to be, how much the total is. I've been playing in my head. I've been working up some things that I want to do. But I haven't been doing them on the other dulcimer this whole time, since November. Haven't played the dulcimer since November. Why? Well, because that's a diatonic scale, and I did not want to get my muscle memory down for any particular songs using the diatonic scale. Because the new one coming in is the chromatic scale. For those who may not be familiar, again, I know you guys have heard this, but other people might not. Diatonic is missing a lot of notes. Think of a piano. Get rid of all the black keys. You got diatonic. You go, well, that's do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. That's all the notes, right? No, that's not all the notes. You've got other notes in there. You've got 5 other notes. Now, you can play simple songs with just the diatonic scale. And it's easier not to mess up. But the problem is a lot of songs, especially modern songs, use half notes. They don't just use full notes. The half notes, those are the black ones, the black keys, half notes. They use those. So if you're trying to play a song and you get through and you get 3/4 of the way through it, or you get halfway through it and you need a half note and it's not there, you screwed up the song. You can't play the song. So dulcimer songs with a diatonic scale tend to be simplified, and they alter. They have to come up with a new version because they don't have the half notes. Well, my dulcimer is going to have the half notes. It's going to have them all. Like I said before, I'm greedy. Give me all them notes. I want all the notes. I want, if I mess up on a song, I want it to be because I chose the wrong note that was available to me, not I can't play it because of the note is not available to me. Let the shortfall be me, not the dulcimer. The most common, from what I understand, the most common scaling for dulcimers nowadays is diatonic plus. Okay. That means you've got the diatonic scale and you have 1 or 2 of the half notes put in, but not all of them. You just have 1 or 2. And that seems to be about the most popular. Gives them more freedom. I'm going chromatic. That's becoming more popular, but it's not the most popular. I want them all. Yes, I will look into the Missouri SAPA this week. Look into it and may write up something and post it up for folks. Posted up a big article, well, relatively longer, more like what I used to do, about Wyoming and their governor vetoing the Gun-Free Zone Act. Some people are pretty pissed off, and I'd imagine they would be, since it passed both the Senate and the House and made it to his desk. I'm sure people are kind of pissed off. Watched Spaceman the other evening, early evening. Dang it, that movie sucks. That sucks. Anybody here watch Spaceman? It's with, the hell's his name? He's a comedian that played in Happy Gilmore. He's from New Hampshire, too. Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler. I'll be honest, I don't care for his comedy. I really don't. I get it. I don't care for it much. I've seen him in more serious roles, and he can act. And I watched Spaceman, and I tell you what, he couldn't act. Nobody could act. Had famous actors in there. Let's see here. Peggy says, we're very tired of this. It's the next step to getting rid of Stand Your Ground. Yeah, they need to, if they get rid of Stand Your Ground, it's time to get some rope. Time to get some rope. Let's try to find the cast for Spaceman. Yeah, a lot of got a few. It's got a few famous people in it. Adam Sandler, of course. Paul Dano. He's just the voice of Hanush. Peter, who is his main dude back at Earth. You know, I'll say NASA. I don't think it's NASA, but the main person for mission control. Mission control is Kanal Nayar. You know, the dude from, you know, Rajesh Kutrapali from Big Bang Theory. John Flanders is in it. Got a bunch. Got Isabel Rossellini is in it. Hey, Judy, welcome to the show. Carrie Mulligan's in it. They had some names. None of them acted worth a shit in it. And it was one of those movies. I get the premise of the movie. It's about wasted life, wasted time, not appreciating what you have before it's gone. Yeah, I get it. It's a trope. It's an old trope. But it was slow. You didn't care. I didn't care about any of the characters whatsoever. Could find no connection. No reason to care about him and his wife. No reason to care about their upcoming child. No reason to care about their marriage because they didn't give you enough. It's just that the movie sucked. You're following the dude on his journey, slow paced, not much happening, through space to out past Jupiter to some twinkly stardust cloud. And then part of the way through, this alien that looks like a spider joins him, but only he can see it. And of course, the whole ship is monitored, but nobody realizes that He's either talking to something that they can't see, or he's lost his freaking mind. Nobody can see that. I mean, there were so many holes, and then it's flashbacks via memory. The alien was in his dreams, sucking his dreams and sucking his memories when he was awake, and it just none of it made sense. It was slow. His accent sucked. He's supposed to be Czechoslovakian or somebody like that, some Slovakian type. It sucked. It sucked. It sounded like he was reading off of a teleprompter that he had just seen for the first time the whole movie, and it was pretty bad. Pretty bad. Peggy says, "Hi, Judy. Please take care. Bad weather is moving into Oklahoma from Texas." Yeah, we're getting weird weather. Well, it's spring. Spring. We got hit in the Northeast, too. So what's coming down? What's coming up from Texas? Got a lot of rain and wind and stuff. It's about that time. Spring. Okay, what else we got going on here? So Spaceman really sucked. It sucked. I only kept watching it because I'm stubborn. I started it, so I'll finish it. I was hoping, there's got to be something more. There's going to be something that's gonna pop in here and make it worthwhile. And no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Judy says, "Thank you. We're under severe storm warning." God, I miss that. I do. Our severe storm warnings up here, okay. It's different down in Oklahoma. A severe storm warning means there might be some shit. I just miss that. It's kind of like an adrenaline rush. I posted up people on the right that misrepresent things to cause alarm, outrage, anger, and action are just as bad as those on the left who do it. I get that it creates attention to your page, channel, or whatever, but stop it. Yeah, I hate that. Oh, yeah, our pal at it again, Gus. He's not really our pal. He knows who I'm talking about. Oh my God. The Biden administration is trying to red flag us all. It's like, no, that's not what they're doing. Not what we're doing. Gus says Mother Nature is trying to tell us to stop talking crap about her. Yeah. But no, that's not what the Biden administration and they do a lot of bad shit. The DOJ and the Biden administration does a lot of bad and questionable shit. That ain't the case this time. You may not like what and contact this person and that person and tell them that this is unacceptable. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Because what the DOJ is doing is not illegal. It's not illegal. For those who may not have followed my content on Facebook, what the DOJ has just unrolled this weekend, they made public notice of it, it's called the National Extreme Protection Order Resource Center. Okay, let me say it again. The National Extreme Protection Order. The National Extreme Protection Order Resource Center. What this is, it's a website. It's a resource center where if you live in a state that has red flag laws, you can check in on this resource center and you can find out the ins and outs, and it will assist you in violating somebody else's rights. Okay? But it's not doing shit. The laws are on the books. This is something that the people don't need to go to the DOJ's website, their resource center, to find out. All I have to do is go to the state. Look up the law. They'll see it. So we cannot like this. Yeah, I don't like it. But it's not that them are trying to enact red flag laws in all states. There's 21 states currently, and I got a map up there of the 21 states. And yes, Florida is one of the red flag states. Yeah, you people that want to pat Florida on the back all the time, you're just as bad as the people that want to pat Texas on the back all the time. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. You think that one or two good laws means that they're the best state in the union on these matters, Second Amendment matters. It doesn't. It doesn't. There's states, again, like New Hampshire, but the Northeast is no. Northeast has better gun rights laws, has better protections for people and their Second Amendment rights than the vast majority of urban myth known to be Second Amendment havens. And we're up here in the Northeast. People don't know their ass in the hole in the ground when it comes to what states are doing what. They just hear something, they run with it. Oh, Texas, they're so free. Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah? Would I be able to walk down the street in Texas as I walk down the street here in New Hampshire without any problems? No. No, I wouldn't, because I open carry. Can't do that in Florida. Oh, but they're so Second Amendment protection, right? Yeah, okay. No red flag laws in New Hampshire. Florida? Yep. Florida is the state that has utilized the red flag laws the most out of any state that has them. And there's a shit ton. There's 21 states that have it. Florida is the one that has utilized it the most. So before you want to throw your shoulder out, patting yourself on the back, or Florida on the back, think, no, they ain't what you think it is. That was the same way with Texas. Oh, Texas, everybody got guns. Yeah, and nobody carries them. Not really. More people carry them in New Hampshire than in Texas. Does Texas have more guns? They may, but they're locked up in people's safes most of the time. That's not fully exercising your right. I don't have any problem in Florida, in New Hampshire, walking around with a gun on my hip. And everybody's seeing it. Hell, I don't think most people even think twice about it. Yeah, like I said, yeah, that's John. Makes sense. And after a while, you probably don't even notice it. Guns. Gus has seen me quite a few times. Probably hasn't even. I'm sure the gun doesn't just jump out at him. Well, I'm sure it doesn't jump out at him. Stays where it's supposed to be. Stays in his holster. So. That's what the DOJ is doing on the behest of the Biden administration. And this other feller likes to whip people up, and you read through the comments. It's like everybody's falling for it. They did this without congressional approval. They don't have to have perfect congressional approval. This is what pisses me off. Know the rules of the game and knows what's legal and not. You may not like what the other guys are doing, but if what they're doing is legal, shut up. It's legal. The problem isn't the DOJ and their new National Extreme Protection Order Resource Center. The problem is red flag laws. So you can bitch, piss, and moan, and you can waste everybody's time picking up the phone and shooting off emails, complaining about their new resource center. That isn't doing anything. It's not violating anybody's rights. It's a resource center. Or if you live in a state like Florida or any of the other 21 states that have red flag laws, invest your time and energy into removing those red flag laws. It makes this new resource center moot. Won't matter. The problem is not the resource center. Stop bitching about it. Stop wasting your time and other people. Oh, you feel like you're doing something. You ain't doing anything. You're annoying everybody. And this is the problem. And I've said this before. When people on the right make a huge issue out of something that is not an issue, it makes it easier for people on the left to shoot them down on everything. Don't do it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop wasting your time. In fact, here you go. You use the resource center. If you live in a state that has red flag laws, use the DOJ's resource center and find out whatever you can on it. It's there. People aren't thinking. People are not thinking. And it pisses me off. Too many people out there just want to rile people up over. There's enough real shit to rile people up over. Don't get their heckles up over stuff that isn't an issue. And this resource center is not an issue. It's not. It's a resource center. It's not doing anything. They're not tracking people down. The DOJ is not going around trying to find somebody they don't like and red flagging them. They're not. It's not what they're doing. Stop it. DOJ is full of shit on a lot of things. I don't like that they have this resource center, but you can use it too. Again, if it's a tool out there, use it. Not against somebody, against them. As ways to unravel the various red flag laws, which are illegal in the states where they're enacted. No state needs a red flag law. All the issues that they say are for red flag issues, there's already current laws on the books. The problem is they require due process. Red flag laws skip due process. If somebody is a threat to themselves or others, there's ways and there's been ways for 100 years to get them the help that they need. But here's the problem is, no, we can't do that. If somebody is truly a threat, they should be in the hospital. But we can't do that. No, we're going to violate everybody's rights, and we're not going to put people in the hospital. And then when somebody does something bad that they shouldn't have done because you didn't give them the mental health care that they needed, you're going to blame it on the gun. You're going to blame it on the knife. You're going to blame it on the car or truck. You're going to blame it on the alcohol. It's like, no. Either deal with the problem or don't. Don't come in afterwards and point fingers in all sorts of directions. If you have somebody in your family that is seriously in need of emotional help, get them the help. You don't need red flags to do that. And if they're in the hospital getting help, getting treatment, they're not going to have their firearms anyways. Red flag laws are just ways that people who should have no ability to do it, violating the rights of others. That's all it is. It's like, oh, if somebody has a protective order. Oh, you got a protective order. Some of the red flag laws do this. If you have a protective order against somebody, well, then they come and take your guns. Why? Why? Protective orders take a two-part process. The first thing is just to see whether or not the judge is going to sign the order, and then that tells the person to leave you the hell alone. No way in hell before any sort of trial or any sort of real inquiry should anybody have their rights removed from them. Oh, John, but there's dangerous. Yes, there are. Yes, there are. All it takes is a pissed off ex-girlfriend, current girlfriend, kid to make a claim, and then suddenly your rights are removed. The dangers of that are far greater than somebody that probably shouldn't have access to their guns because they're going to do something illegal. No. The tyranny on the other side is far worse than that. And you know how you deal with the other? You arm yourself. You arm yourself. Yeah. God created man. Colt made them equal. Yeah, there's a reason that's a saying. Arm yourself. Don't rely on a piece of paper. What the hell are you doing relying on a piece of paper? All that does is if the person breaks the orders, you can call the cops. But what if they break it to the ultimate point? What are the cops going to do then? Clean up the mess? Never rely on a piece of paper. I'm not saying don't get a protective order. But if you rely on a protective order for your protection, you're an idiot. You are an outright idiot. The same way as if you rely on the police for your protection, you're an idiot. Now, I was just saying that, again, doesn't mean that in general protection orders are terrible. No, they're a tool. And they're often misused, just like firearms. I'm not saying that police shouldn't be there. No, they're a tool. But you don't rely on them. It's like having a AAA card. Going to rely on AAA? It's a neat thing to have. I have AAA. Am I going to rely on it? No. No, I'm going to take care of the problem. And then if I can't, or it's just more expedient to use them, I'll do it. I've blown tires since I've had AAA. Didn't call them up. What did I get my ass out of the car, jack it up, put the spare on, drive it to a tire shop, get it fixed, and get the new tire on. Didn't use the AAA. It's a tool. I got it mainly so that, let's say something happens and I'm far away from home. I got the biggest plan, so it's like they'll damn near drive my car to another state. Laurel says, in New York State, if you get a protection order, you aren't allowed to have a gun. Here in Kentucky, they fast-tracked you to get your pistol permit. Where's it here? Let's go. I got to go up again. It's damn. There we go. You got the pistol permit. We are now a constitutional carry state. Yeah. It is stupid. So you get a protection order on you. You can't. Somebody makes a claim, and do you know what it takes to actually get the initial protection order signed? Virtually nothing. It just takes a claim. Just a claim. All you need to do is claim, I am scared. This person did this or that. You don't have to prove it. You just have to state it. Then they schedule you another hearing. Both sides are heard. And then the judge makes a determination of whether or not it's valid or not. It's hard to tell, folks. The vast majority of protection orders, after the hearing, they're gone. Because most of them aren't valid. Oh, shock there, huh? Yeah. And then you hear all the time where the valid ones, somebody comes and they still kill the other person. Well, what good did that protection order do them? Nothing. I'm not going to let somebody take away my rights off of just a vague accusation and a judge going, yeah, let's take his guns because Susie Twisted Panties decided to, have a problem and make a claim. No. Bobby Yellow Streak decides that he's going to make a false accusation, just like that jackwagon down the street, telling the cops, I tried to kidnap his kid. Are you kidding me? I tried to kidnap your kid because I said, can you come here a little bit closer? Because he couldn't hear me and I couldn't hear him, so that I could say, go get your father. Yeah, that's not trying to kidnap your kid. But he told the cop that. The cop didn't believe it. But people lie all the time. Laurel says, my sister had to get one against her ex due to domestic violence. She was scared of him, but then she wasn't able to protect herself legally. Yeah. I mean, like I said, hey, if there's a valid reason. Okay, rape. If somebody rapes you, go to the cops, file a complaint, do the kit, get the bastard. Simple truth is, contrary to what popular belief is, the vast majority of rape accusations are not rape. Oh, women wouldn't do that. Women have been doing that since the dawn of time. Stop it. Men have been raping and women have been lying about rape. It's the way things are. When I was working the roads, the vast majority of rape accusations were not rape. And that harms the women who were raped. Stop it. Protection orders. Most protection orders, once they go through the first process, are dropped. Because they're muscle tools that shouldn't be used. But if you need one, get one. Get one. But do not rely upon that to protect you, because it will not protect you. Protective orders protects you as much as gun-free zone signs protect people within them from guns. It's at most another charge after the fact. Does not protect you. Yes, it can come in handy. don't come over to their house. They show up, you call the police, and they go. And they get arrested. Here's another thing. I can't tell you the number of protective orders that are broken by the person who swore out the protective order complaint in the first place. It just blows your mind. It's like, you're not supposed to be contacting them, right? You're not supposed to be, oh yeah, but no. You went and you filed for a protective order and it's granted. You better freaking follow it. Peggy says, I agree. Women can be devious. Yes. The domain for women fighting, their battleground is the head. Anyone who's had daughters, anyone who's grown up around women, anyone who's worked with women, know the damage that women can do without throwing a punch. Laurel says that always irritated me. Which one? The rape accusations or the one filing the domestic petition, breaking it? Oh, man, I tell you. Because that works both ways. She can get arrested. They don't normally. She damn well should. I take crimes and I take bad things seriously. I don't like them used as a wedge or a tool against other people. I don't like that. It chaps my ass. It's like, no, don't do that. It doesn't help anything. Hurts. It hurts everybody. Hurts everybody. It's not right. Let's see if I can get the power going on that fan. There we go. That's better. Getting warm in the studio. It's going to be interesting to see how this is going to work in the summertime. Excuse me. But yeah, all these tools, they're tools. There's a reason for it, but they're abused by too many people. We've discussed it on past shows how the both criminal and the tort system are used against people. Shouldn't be. Shouldn't be. Hey, Peggy, did you get your potato meme? If you haven't, go grab them. Go snag them and share them with your friends. Can't have just one. I put up 4 today. My potato memes. I'm thinking maybe I should get a t-shirt going. But like I said, I worked up t-shirt designs before and it just didn't sell. But yeah, it'd be a good one. Tater one. Potato farmer. National Potato Farmers Association. But yeah, I'll bet you they have a National Potato Farmers Association. Let's see here. Yeah, I'll be damned. Look at that. Oh, that's the Kenyan National Farmers Association. National Potato Council. National Potatoes USA, Potato Association of America, National Potato Promotion Board, National Potato Council. There we go. National Potato Council again. This spud's for you. Peggy says, I had a lot to get done today before the rain. I never liked the rain before I walked with it. I never liked the rain before I walked through it with you. It's a opening line of a song. Come on, you know that song, right? Everybody knows that song. Give you a few seconds. Who sings it? I never liked the rain till I walked through it with you. Clint Black. Clint Black. No, that's okay. They'll be there for you, Peggy. I thought that you came in after I'd talked about them earlier, so I just wanted to make sure that you knew they were there. You knew they were there. They were there. Taters. Call me tater salad. Oh my goodness. So what's another thing I can start ranting off about? Oh, silencers. Silencers are back on the menu, boys. I don't know if people get that. I say silencers are back on the menu, boys. Where's that from? I'll tell you where that's from. It's either a movie or a song. It's the orcs were saying it in the Lord of the Rings. They say humans are back on the menu, or meat's back on the menu, boys. They were going to eat an orc. Creedence, have you ever seen the rain? Well, there's that one too. Different song though. It's a different line. And I sing that song as Lorraine and not Lorraine, not the rain. Have you ever seen Lorraine? Yeah, the meat's back on the menu, boys. Silencers are back on the menu. Down in Texas, there was a case. The plaintiffs were claiming that the ATF has no authority. The federal government has no authority to silencers that are manufactured, sold, and stay within the confines of Texas. And I would agree. Because one of the reasons that the ATF is using this, it's the Commerce Clause. That Commerce Clause deals with things that are sold and pass state borders. And here's another issue. And I'm gonna bitch about this. The Commerce Clause never meant to do what it's doing now. The Commerce Clause was to ensure the free flow of goods and services across state lines. That's what the Commerce Clause was there for. Therefore, the federal government would regulate the flow of free goods and services across state lines. It was to make sure that the states could not prevent other states from selling things in their state, be they goods or services. That's what the purpose of the Commerce Clause. That's not how it's being used. That's the same reason for the National Waters Act. Oh, it's a flowing water that goes from state to state, so the federal government has jurisdiction. It's to make sure that nobody can stop the free flow of travel, not so that they can regulate the water quality, not so they can tax anything that's going on it, no, not so that they can tell you that you can't put a freaking pond on your property. That's not what it was for. It was to maintain the free flow, not to stifle. Both the Waters Acts and the Commerce Act are used in direct contradiction to what their intent was. Which is, again, be careful what powers you give the government, because they're going to misuse it every damn time. But okay, so we go. So it's not a commerce issue, since it does not cross state borders. And then they go, oh, well, it doesn't. Another argument is it doesn't violate the Constitution because silencers are not firearms, so we can regulate those. Oh, can you? What part of the alcohol, tobacco, firearms, and explosives branch covers silencers? Is it alcohol? Is it a firearm? Is it tobacco? Is it an explosive? No. Then you do not have, not even within questionable bounds, the ability to regulate it. Shouldn't be a part of the NFA, National Firearms Act. What the hell are things in the National Firearms Act that aren't firearms? But let's take a look at that. The NFA is unconstitutional. Shall not be fucking infringed. These are words they just don't seem to understand. What part of NFA is not an infringement on the ability of law-abiding citizens in the United States to own and bear arms? What part of it isn't? There ain't none of it that isn't a violation. Shouldn't be there. So, okay, it is there. We've been trying to get it out. We need to stop. We've been chipping around the outside edges, been setting things up. I predict within 10 years, the NFA has a very strong chance of being gone bye-bye. because people are starting asking the right questions now. The right cases are making it. But okay, so there you go. There's two things. Number 3, $200 tax stamp on a suppressor? Really? Really? The poll tax decision made by the Supreme Court of the United States deemed that you cannot charge a tax. You can't charge somebody to exercise their rights. Well, if you can't tax somebody to exercise their rights, and the item, be it a SBR, it's a short-barrel rifle, or a short-barreled shotgun, or any of the other NFA items, that you can pay an extra $200 and you can have that, well, that's a violation, because you cannot charge a tax, a fee, to exercise your rights. Now, they get around this because, there's always a fee for a weapons permit. The fee is actually a filing fee. And that's how they get around that fee. As fees go, if you charge $15 for the fee, I have no problem with that in principle. If you charge $150 for filing, that's robbery. Doesn't take $150 worth of paper or time to process a single paper permit. Doesn't. That's setting aside the fact that you shouldn't need a permit to exercise your rights in the first place. That's a different issue. But yeah, taxes across the board on anything that is related to you exercising your right is a violation of the law, as stipulated by the Supreme Court. But that gets me to my next thing, and I posted up about it. People don't realize this. The Supreme Court of the United States has absolutely no authority in the United States. You go, wait a minute, they don't have authority, ultimate authority. You don't have authority unless you can enforce something. The Supreme Court cannot enforce a single one of its rulings. They have no enforcement mechanism. They rely upon the good graces of everybody else following what they said. But what happens if they don't? Nothing. Nothing. Let's say the Supreme Court rules that Texas cannot enforce its new law, which is just a mirror of the federal law. And Texas says, kiss my ass, and we're doing it anyways. What can the Supreme Court do about it? Nothing. Now the Department of Justice can, but that's on their own. If the Department of Justice didn't want to do anything, nothing would get done. That's how you have things like sanctuary cities. Anybody think about this? Nobody thinks about this shit. That's in direct violation of the Constitution and direct violation of Supreme Court rulings. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Joe Biden, he had a ruling by the Supreme Court, said you cannot enact a eviction moratorium. You have no authority to do so. It is unconstitutional. So what did he do? He went and did it anyways, and he got in front of the nation. Talk about balls the size of cannonballs. That's why he can't walk. His balls are so big. And said in front of the nation and in front of the world, yes, the Supreme Court said I can't do this, but I'm going to do it anyways because I think it's the right thing to do. And by the time this makes it back up to the Supreme Court, I've accomplished what I wanted. He should have been freaking impeached and convicted of a crime. Nothing happened to him. Gus says, tell that to the town or city to issue a building permit. Some are like thousands of dollars. In my town, they're just up this year, like $500. Yeah, I'm not getting into permit stuff because it's a different issue. I get your point and I agree. It's outrageous. It is outrageous. What's even worse about some of the permits is not only do they Not only do they charge for that, but some permits require you to provide building plans that are authorized, and you would have had to pay somebody else to do all this other shit. So you got fees on top of fees on top of fees. Yeah, it's all bullshit. But it's not the same as your rights, because sadly, there's nothing codified in the Constitution about the right to build on your property. Don't like it. There's a lot of things I don't like, and it's stupid, but it is what it is. But yeah, back to the Supreme Court. Everybody thinks, oh, is there? Yeah, it's like, okay. They don't have the power. It's a gentleman's agreement with everybody else in the nation. Because if you don't want to obey it, you just don't obey it. If there is somebody else that takes it upon themselves in the lower levels, which is what normally happens, the Supreme Court will make a ruling, and then lower courts will enforce that, and they have different powers than the upper courts. I went over that a little bit. There's a difference between criminal courts and civil courts and the Supreme Court. It's not the same type of thing. They hear different things. The Supreme Court does not hear criminal cases. The Supreme Court may hear cases that involve criminal cases, but they don't hear criminal cases. They don't rule on the criminal act itself. They rule on the legality of the act or actions in accordance with that act. That's what they do. So they don't do what a lot of people think they do. They don't do it. They just interpret laws and then give the rulings. But then again, if somebody doesn't want to do it, Joe Biden said to the whole world, ain't going to do it, and nothing's going to happen. He didn't do it. Nothing happened. If that doesn't scare the shit out of people, it damn well should. Because the only thing that keeps our society on an even keel, even somewhat, is at least the illusion of justice and rule of law. If you don't have that, what's to prevent anybody from just doing whatever the hell they want? That was what was so dangerous about the Black Lives Matter riots, is that we had the left once again burning down this country. No meaningful consequences. Peggy says, those of us that were taught U.S. history and the Constitution and critical thinking in school are seeing about everything going on. Are seething about everything going on, right? Judy says, that is very scary. Yeah, it is scary. Again, I've said this time and time again, the left flagrantly violate the law at will and no meaningful punishment, and they scream about the right, and the right generally doesn't. The right generally follows the rules. Can you imagine if the right finally woke up one day and said, why the hell am I the only one following these rules? Nobody else is following these rules. Nothing's happening to them. Look what happened. Look what happened to the January 6 people. Pure travesty. That was disgusting. I'm not saying I agree with everything they did. I agree with what some of them did. If you went in after the doors were open, in my opinion, you're not a criminal. If you broke a window to get in, you're a criminal, but you're a criminal to breaking a fucking window. If you're not sitting behind jail and behind bars for years before trial and then put in prison for years for breaking, let's say, the bakery window, you shouldn't be treated like that for breaking the Capitol building window. But what if the right finally had enough and they said, no, they've got all the guns. Well, the left has guns. Yeah, some of them do. And I've seen a lot of the retards in the left that have their militias. And I'll tell you what, the militias on the right, some of them are retards too. But the ones you know about, they're not. There are so many other militia groups you've never even heard of. And you know what? They don't have a fancy patch. They're just a bunch of guys that get together and they train. They don't pretend that they're some military unit. They just train together and they work together. And then there is countless people like myself that can be lone operators and because of our training can at any time hook up with anybody else that's had similar training. That's like if you've played football. If you learn how to play football in school and you grew up playing football in school or basketball, you can do a pickup game and you're going to be fine. Everybody knows you're not going to be dialed in. It's going to take a while for everybody to work together, but if you just had to go out and work together, you could do it. You could play the game. Gus says, like that climate crap, the U.S. might be, but the rest of the world doesn't. Why? Right. And here we go. Here's another thing about that climate crap. We weren't both of the, I think the two biggest one, Kyoto and Paris. And we said, no, fuck this. We still cut back. We cut back without being a part of any agreement, more than those who were actually a part of the agreement that made their pledges. All those that made pledges, their carbon footprint went up. We refused to be a part of it. Our carbon footprint went down. Imagine that. But yeah, even if the United States was to go to a zero emissions tomorrow, it's not going to save anything because we've got places in the Middle East and in Africa and in Asia, and that's where most of the shit is going. Oh, all these straws and plastic in the ocean, and they're banning straws in the United States. The straws ain't coming from the United States. They're coming from 3 river valleys, 3 river deltas. In Africa, Middle East, and Asia. That's where they're coming from. They're not coming from Seattle. They're not coming from Los Angeles. They're not coming from Miami. That's not where the trash is coming from. But we've got to do it because a sea turtle had a straw stuck in his nose. Yeah. From freaking Singapore. It's not from Seattle. All the shit you're doing isn't doing a damn thing globally. I've said time and time again, this is not John saying that we should not be good stewards to the planet we live on. Of course we should. Just like your house. Clean your fucking house. It's stupid to live like a hoarder. Don't do it. That being said, it's hubris to think that what we're doing is doing exactly, or the people that are claimed to do it. Oh, it's our responsibility. Well, we're not the ones doing it. So we cut back all of our carbon emissions, and India and other places in the Far East, their emissions are going through the roof. China's emissions are going through the roof because they're developing. But they're just like us technologically. No, they're not. You know that fucking car that's driving in the Chinese streets that looks just like your car? It ain't just like your car. Not all the same materials, not the same production quality. Emissions quality is not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same car. Oh, people got a good beat on things. Like, no, you have no idea. Why do you think that China wants Taiwan? Because they make all of the high-tech chips. We need to start doing that here in the States. We don't need to station permanent troops in Taiwan and in the islands off of the Chinese coast. That's how every single major conflict that the United States has gotten into since before 1960. Starts the same freaking way. But China wants them because of the chips, because their shit isn't what you think it is. I posted about this. Remember when there was a big dust up? They were like, oh, China's going to invade Taiwan, and they're blockading the Taiwan Strait and all this other shit. And people are posting up pictures of their aircraft carriers and stuff like. They've got no new technology. They've got stuff that looks good. It isn't good. I said that when it happened. I said, don't worry about it. Everybody else is all, they're quaking and we need to worry. I said, don't worry about it. It's a paper tiger. They look a certain way. Their troops are not trained like you think they're trained. They're not as loyal as what you think they are. Their equipment is not as good as you think it is. Same thing happened with Russia during the Cold War. We trained as if it was. And then when the Cold War was over, which I'll argue it isn't, when the Soviet Union disbanded, then you find out their equipment is shitty. Their soldiers have low morale. Their vehicles are extremely comfortable to be in, so they can't operate them for extended periods of times. I could list on and on and on the problems. Another paper tiger. Now, does that mean you want to fight them? No, of course not. But they're not the threat you think they are. We trained so hard to the hordes coming down through the Fulda Gap. I can tell you what, we'd get alerts. Oh, dark 30, it's 1:30 in the morning. And we'd have to get our shit, get down to the motor pool, get everything ready, get lined up and roll out. And we had usually anywhere between 45 minutes and an hour and a half to get everybody from the time they wake you up until the time we've left, vehicles fueled, gear stowed, ammo in, so you got to draw your weapons, you get down to, you get in your vehicle, out, lined up and out the freaking post. Because of the threat. They do the same thing down in the DMZ. So there they got people actually wanting to shoot at them. But yeah, China is not the military threat yet. Could be fairly quickly if they got their hands on technology, but they don't have the technology. Same way with Russia. They don't have the technology. Oh, they got this new missile. Okay, you got one new missile that's quasi might work. Okay. And then we have the United States military. If it wasn't for our technology, we'd be run over tomorrow. Because the morale of our troops is horrible. I guarantee the training of our troops is horrible. I'll put any pre-80s troop up against modern troops any day of the week. You might have operators that know their shit, but the actual soldiers out there, I don't. And that's, John's talking shit. No. I'm a man who served. I'm a man whose son served. We've seen what's happened. Open your eyes. Be realistic. Another reason why the Second Amendment is extremely important. But yeah, if the right ever finally woke up one day and said, you know what, I'm not doing it. Oh, January 6th? Oh, that's an uprising? You don't know uprising. You don't know uprising. I posted up a story the other week about the town. I think it's Kansas or Tennessee, something like that. One of those mid-southern states. That after World War II, they had an uprising. Because of the crooked government and the crooked sheriff's department and voter suppression, all sorts of crap, and they got their guns and they had it out. That's an uprising. They won. That's what the Second Amendment was for. They won. Now, it can be pointed out that after that, the new regime that came in was arguably worse than the one that they ousted. Granted. That happens too. Doesn't take away the fact that these people exercise their Second Amendment rights to its fullest. And they won. The left wants to scream about January 6th. You ain't seen shit. January 6th wasn't an uprising. How can they say that's an uprising when they had 2 years of cities being burned across this country and they just call that mostly peaceful protests? How can they call that an uprising when the year before that in Washington, D.C. itself, there was a church burned, there was streets burned in riots right by the White House? Crazy. January 6th. That was a protest that got out of hand. Shouldn't have, but that's all it was. It lasted for what, 3 hours? Not 3 days, not every weekend, for years on end. Stop it. Gus says, I just watched a documentary on how fast a B-52 can get in the air in real time. I was so surprised. 9 minutes from the time the alert to it being in the air. Yeah, shit happens quick. Happens quick. Of course it's fast. They're right there, and they're ready to go. So you can imagine, we had full unit. You're talking about a full military units from the time they wake soldiers up in the middle of the night. So they're sleepy, they're groggy, they got woken up in the middle of the night until the time they are fully loaded with weapons, ammunition, fuel, MREs, everything lined up and heading out. 45 minutes to an hour and a half. That's amazing. That's a whole unit. That's not just a B-52. That's a whole unit. Gone. In under 2 hours. Gone. And the post being nothing but a ghost town because everything's gone. And you want to talk about even more impressive. See, over in Europe, we call them whoopee lights on the vehicles. They're RALs, rotating amber warning light system. They're just a rotating yellow-orange light. And it's on every vehicle. Now, in actual wartime, that would not be running. But when you're not in wartime and you're out amongst the general population, these things have to be going. So can you imagine at 1:30 in the morning, hundreds of vehicles rolling out of a military installation dead of night with these whoopee lights going? That's something. Yeah. So, yeah, January 6th. No. You want to bitch, you want to complain, you want to act like it was this insurrection. It wasn't an insurrection. Oh, it was a coup. It wasn't a coup. There was no firearms used. There was tussling. There's some tussling that happened. I'm sorry, tussling isn't, you're not going to be having insurrection. Look anywhere in the world where they actually have insurrections. They ain't a bunch of people tussling, and after 3 hours they go home. That's not how it works. And they knew it. January 6th committee lied, withheld information, lied. And withheld information. And withholding information is lie by omission. They knew the truth. They wanted to spin another story. Everybody knew ahead of time what was going to happen. The FBI and other agencies were knee deep in it for months before it happened. Warned people, tell people don't do it. they're trying to bait you. It's like, really? The leader of the Proud Boys gets how many years in federal prison? He wasn't even there. He wasn't even there. Oh, conspiracy and planning. He wasn't even there. Gus says, like us in the fire service, tone goes off. I had 3 minutes to get into the... Right. Yeah, it's the same thing. And you got less stuff to get. But yeah, same idea. You have your shit ready at any time. You hop into it, go, and you're gone. You're gone. I'm not trying to minimize what you guys do and getting up and going, but it's not the same as a whole military unit. There's a lot more shit. And like I said, even taken to this, everybody's got to draw their arms and get ammo. The fact that can happen so fast It's just, wow. It's just amazing. I think back about it now. It's like, you didn't think twice about it back in the day. You just did it. But yeah, it's a lot to get coordinated. And you get some jackwagon forget something back in the barracks or whatever. So, everybody's loading up and you got to run his ass full gear, full gear back, and go and get something, bring it in. Yeah, it's yeah. Yeah. January 6th. It was, shut up. The biggest crime that's happened because of January 6th is the government involvement running up to January 6th and then government involvement afterwards. That's the biggest crime. Period. It doesn't mean that people didn't commit crimes. They're normal people. Yeah. It wasn't what's being presented. Yeah. But here we are. Got an exciting year coming up. Trump is leading Biden in damn near every poll out there. Unheard of. Gus says, we ran 25 guys, 4 trucks. Everything except our PPG was in a truck. Have to pop it up. Yeah. Now, I'm sure you can think back now. You can just see it in your head. It's like, man, you should do that shit. I don't want to do it now. I wouldn't want to try to do that hustle now. I'm not 20 years old. I'm not 25 years old. No. Crazy. Crazy for feeling so lonely. Okay, what else we got here? Yes, again, folks, if you're tuning in now or after, go to my Facebook page, grab your potato memes. Share them with everybody. Potato memes. Oh, Captain America. They're working on, was it Captain America 4 or something like that? 3, 4? 4? I think it's 4. They originally titled it Captain America New World Order. Yeah, wrong title. They've renamed it to Brave New World, and they've been running test groups in to see it because they're working on it, and they hate it. People are walking out. They hate it. Say it's too political. And when I say too political, I'm not talking about from the right, but people are tired of that shit. Too political, too boring, and just crappy. So they're reshooting a shit ton of stuff and redoing a lot of the plot in the movie itself. Gus says, I don't know how the heck I did it 25 years ago. Couldn't do it today. He said that about. He's like, he couldn't. He couldn't lug me out when he was 25 years ago. So I got faith in you, Gus. I got faith in you. Although honestly, yeah, you'd have a better job if I helped you, if I stiffened up a little bit, and I don't mean that in a sexual way. Dead weight is I'm not a giant, and I'm 6'4", 220 and change. That's a lot of body and a lot of weight if it's just dead weight. It's dead weight. So if I could, like if he was doing a contest, and I stiffened up and I go, you can. Definitely when you were younger. I don't know about now, but I have faith in you. Like I said, just bring a skateboard or something, roll me on it, and then just roll me away. Oh my goodness. Yeah, and our gear was different back then. Heavier than the stuff they got now. But we had flak jackets. We didn't have plate armor or anything. So that's, I guess, 6 of one, half of the other. He says most of our dummies were 190 pounds. Yeah, it's a good weight to practice on. That's heavy. That's a heavy sack. Now, I know the ones that we used when I was behind the badge. They were good and stout. Yeah, I had to practice with that and do the carries and pulls and stuff like that. They were good and heavy. I didn't have too much of a problem. I'm a big guy, so. And I don't say like, oh my God, he thinks he's all. No. I'm just a big guy. Oh, those who met me, they know. I don't puff my chest and go pushing people around. I usually keep my distance, choose the low ground. I'll do that all the time. If there's a hill, I'll stand on the low side of the hill. Limp as can be. Well, yeah. Yeah, because they don't even have bone structures. The ones that we had didn't even have bone structures. They're just they're a dummy, the shape of a person, but they're not. Ours didn't even, they had clothing, because that way you can use the clothing to your advantage, but ours didn't. Did yours have even bone structures? Ours didn't have bone structures. They were just heavy. They felt like they were damn full of lead shot or something. They were heavy. A body you can maneuver, because they're only going to bend a certain way. These dummies, they just at least, yeah, he said nothing. Yeah, ours, it's they just move. You just arms. There's no right way and wrong way for them to bend. No shoulder joints or the shoulder, but no elbows. It's just the arm distance. it's the legs went whatever direction we didn't. So they were just. So they're actually harder than a real person to move. Because again, a human body it's a pain when they're limp, but they at least they'll only do certain things. Their body will only go a certain direction. Well, unless you force it. But yeah, so yeah, the MCU still screwing up. They go the way you don't want. Right. right. Yeah. It's like if you come up somebody in real life and you come up underneath them and you lift up and your hand is behind their back, they'll flop back, but they'll only go back so far. These dummies, they don't work like you're supposed to do. You try to flip them and they're just like, They did not cooperate. And they didn't act like a real body did. They're just weight. Just dead weight. Which, again, that can be a good thing or a bad thing. So always train harder than you're going to fight. So I guess if you can handle the dummies, by the time you have to handle a person, people are dummies too. It's going to be easier. The girls aren't talking. The girls didn't talk the last show either. Got off the show. It's like, hey, the girls weren't talking. What the hell? No one ever wanted to volunteer. Of course not. I wouldn't volunteer to be a dummy. That hurts. Oh, my God. It's like we've done things. They always call it the fireman. We did the fireman's carry, and we trained with real people to do all that stuff because the military does that as well. Those carries are universal. It hurts. It hurts less to carry somebody than it does to be carried. It hurts. I don't want to be that shit. I don't want you to try to pick my ass up. Oh my God. No. No. And then if you drop me, I'm a lot to drop. Like, don't do that. No. So yeah. I'd imagine nobody's gonna volunteer. No. And again, it hurts. Oh, it hurts to be fireman carried. Oh, you want to carry me? Do the two-man chair carry. I'll do that. I don't know if that they called it that for you guys. It's where The two guys one on either side, and you link arms underneath, and you're forming a cradle. And one goes behind their back, and one goes underneath their arm, and you're like sitting in a chair. It says, if I did, knock me out first. What, being a volunteer? Yeah, it hurts. It hurts. But yeah, what do they call it? Do they call it a chair carry? 2-man chair carry for the fire department? Said, yeah, we did that. Yeah, that's the best way. If you got two gals and they have to move somebody, that's probably about the best way. If they can get the person up there. Yeah. But yeah, I'll do that. You can 2-man carry me and cherry me. Cherry, yeah. All day long. I don't care. That's fine. That's fine. That fireman's carry, man. Oh, no, that hurts. That's not good. Yep. Like that feminist saying, I'd rather be dragged down a flight of stairs than carried out by a fireman. It's like, you've never been dragged down a flight of stairs. You can tell how privileged you are. You have never been dragged down a flight of stairs. Stop it. No. Around, oops. I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah. I'd rather, if somebody's got the strength, I'd rather you cradle me, like they show you to pick up a woman or a kid or something. How they carry their wives over the threshold. you got to have some ass to carry me that way too. But I'd rather you carry me that way, either two-man chair carry, or like you're taking me over the threshold. Just don't hit my head against the doors. But again, you've got to have some ass to be able to carry me like that. Laurel says, oh, hell no. Getting brain damage from the stairs. No kidding. And everything else. Broken head. Excuse me, you're going to have screwed up shoulders and arms, and you don't know what to... No. I want the biggest guy there is. Give me two of them. give me two of them. Two of the biggest guys you got. We'll go. So I say we're fighting two, but you need three. It reminds me at the hospital when the two security guys showed up in the doorway, and I just laughed. It's like, oh, you're going to need more than that. Did you come out here? No. Why don't you come on in? But yeah, give me two of the biggest guys you got. That's good. Say John's in the building. You and you. You're big. No. Okay, somebody bigger. Get him. It's like, no, I got no. I want to be gently lifted out of there. Peggy says it's fun listening to you guys. Reminded. I've had easy jobs and hard physical jobs, and I'm grateful to be retired and relatively intact. Yeah. No, I get it. Reminisce. I figured you meant reminisce, or yeah, that's fine. Yeah. I think back, it's like, man, I wouldn't want to do that shit anymore. Same we talked in the other show. I got some of the clip off the side. I didn't get all the good stuff. It's like, yeah, the last time I've had to actually tussle with somebody, I was quite a bit younger. Now, I could do it. I don't want to do it. I didn't want to do it then. I just rather not. I'd rather not do all the shit that I did before. I go light. When it comes to, like, let's say shit hit the fan. I'm going light. I'm not going heavy. I'm not going heavy. I'm heavy enough as it is. Yep. We got snow. It was quiet. It's like, what's Don going to say? Yeah, we got snow. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I didn't even shovel my driveway today. I said, nope, snowed and rained yesterday. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I can get the trash out to the road in the morning. The front walk is not all the way to the street, but it's to the steps. And that's it. No. Snow's here. I don't care. It's not going to be here long enough for me to worry about it. I was listening night before last, listening to everybody out there. Or was it last night? Was it last night? Yeah, last night. Because it hit. People out there with their snowblowers. It's like, no, they're throwing slush. Like, no, you can clear it all you want. It's going to be gone in a week. I'm not worried about it. I don't need to get out there. Gus says, I'm very happy to stand and watch now. I'll clap and cheer later. Yeah, moral support. There you go. Good job, guys. Go do it. You're a young feller. And here's the thing, too. It's like, look, can I do shit? Yes, I can. Yeah, I'll throw a car. Don't care. But I tell you what, if I hurt myself while I'm doing it, it's going to take me a hell of a lot longer to heal. I mean, hell, we're at the points now in our lives where you fuck yourself up sleeping at night. You wake up and go, what the fuck? Who did I get into a fight with last night? My God, I can't move my shoulder. Go down the stairs limping away. What the hell? My hip's out. I didn't do anything. I was sleeping. So no. Yeah, it's not that you can't do stuff. It's just that if you do it and you do it wrong. It's like, whoa. Holy crap. You get hurt, used to be, no lie, I get hurt. Like, let's say I sprained a wrist or I sprained an ankle or something. I'm good a week later. Nowadays, sprained an ankle now, I'm limping for 6 months. Laura says she felt that. Yeah, it was a few years ago. I took a big chunk of ice. It was just a big chunk of ice. It had to have been about the size of would have been the size of a basketball, but wasn't complete. So it was pretty heavy. And I just kind of like tossed it. I just tossed it to the side. But when I did, it rolled off my hand and it tweaked my pinky. Almost a year. Oh, sorry about that. Almost a year. My pinky was still screwing with me. It's like, holy crap. When I was 30, it'd be good in a week to 2 weeks. And here I am almost a year later is going, man, my pinky still hurts. So yeah, look, we're to the age where we fuck ourselves up doing nothing. It's like you walk from the living room to the kitchen, get halfway there, and you get a catch in your knee or a catch in your hip for no reason. No freaking reason. It's not like you had to avoid something. It's not like you had to jump over something. You weren't in the Olympics. Just something decided to say, fuck it. It's like, what the hell? What the hell did I do there? Now I can't walk. My knee's all fucked up. Yeah. Welcome to being a seasoned human. It's like, man. You know, you get up, you take a shower, and it's like, where the hell did that bruise come from? Somebody clocking me with a baseball bat when I'm asleep or something? I don't know. So yeah, I don't dance. I won't dance with somebody. Yeah, you young fellers, you want to dance? Go ahead. Doesn't mean you're better. It just means you're less worried about injury. I ain't going to dance with you. I'm going to fuck you up. You'll be in the hospital. We'll let people know, but I can't afford to dance with you. I neither have the time, inclination, or the elasticity anymore. No, not happening. Sorry. No, not doing it. Leave the old guys alone. Laurel says, I figured out the bruise the next time I hit the same spot. Yeah, I've done that too. It's like, man, I got something on my shin. What did I hit with my shin? Have no idea what the hell it is. 3 days later, whap, there we go. There it is. Got you now. Yeah, that's where it is. Like, oh shit. I had a mystery spot on my lower shin, just up above the ankle, but on the front. And I couldn't figure it. I still, to this day, I can't figure out what the hell happened. Had it for 2 weeks. Got all swollen and shit. Had a bruise, and I'm like, what the hell is this? The missus is like, are you okay? What happened? I have no idea. Oh, but yeah, most of the time it's like, yeah, you find out later when you do this exact same thing. I do that on my head. That happens on my head a lot. I'll go, man, it's tender here. What the hell? And then 3-4 days later, I'll walk into something against, there it is. That's what did it. You know, either like a fan sticking out of the top or a doorway for going downstairs or, you know, overhead. Yeah, that's where it is. That's where it is. Gus says, I get bruises and have no idea. Yeah, is that, there we go. We're just fighting the demons. We're fighting the demons. We need somebody to monitor us all. We're body cams. It's like, damn, what the hell did this happen? Oh, the other day, how about the day I went to it was last weekend. Yeah, it's when I went to pick up the canoe. I had just come in from the kitchen. I'm not out of shape. Pretty good shape. For some reason, it felt the whole middle of my back, across the whole back, you know, below the chicken wings, but above where it curves in the back. So your middle back just felt like somebody just went, and I had these like mild cramps, but it was like what the hell? All I did, I'm walking from the kitchen to the dining room. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. The missus is like, you want to take something for that? I say, yeah, well, I'll get close. I'm going to drive and see how it goes. Like, what the heck happened there? Doing nothing. I'll throw a car, nothing happens. Walk across the lawn and go, oh shit, I threw my back out. What the hell is that? Where'd that come from? It's just that time of life, I guess. Yeah, all you can do is laugh. It's not. You know, I didn't mind injuries if I earned them. let me earn this shit. If I'm laid up. I want to be laid up because I fought a bull, you know, or I stopped a bus. Not, I got out of bed. That's not so cool. It doesn't have the same sort of feeling to it. Oh, Peggy says that's why retirement is a blessing. Yeah, I want to earn my shit. Well, you know what it is. You know, we probably earned it earlier in life and we didn't realize it. And it's a delayed reaction. Oh, my goodness. Oh, it sucks. It sucks. Yeah, and your body's a living barometer. I got scars and cuts and broken bones, and I got shit all over the place, and they let you know. Get a nice cold day, and then your whole back's aching up. Your knees are catching. Laurel says the cramp in the bottom of the foot. What the hell? Yeah, I don't get them very often. My sciatic nerve, boy, that'll kick up real good too sometimes. Like, holy crap, what the hell? The missus, she gets more cramps than I do. I get nerves and aches in the joints. Feet were pretty frostbit when I was in the service. So now whenever the feet get cold, they just turn all, everything all purple. It's like, what the hell? Had that happen a couple weeks ago. I was walking around without any socks on. I had my feet up on my chair. the recliner. And I was looking like, what the hell? It looked like the whole top of my foot was all bruised, starting with my big toe and a couple other toes. And I'm like, ee. It's like, oh, my foot got cold. Peggy says, yes, my sister was coddled her whole life, and she is doing great, but it wouldn't change a thing. Gus says, being retired, I get hurt more. I don't have a boss to tell me what to do. He needs supervision. Yeah. I can see that, Gus. You have any questions, give me a call. You got my number. Think about doing something, say, John, I'm thinking about doing this. Don't do it, Gus. Yeah, I don't have any supervision. Yeah, the missus, she worries about me sometimes. It's like, oh. Sometimes all you need is just another pair of hands. They don't need to do much, just another pair of hands. Know when to just say stop. I can do this. No, you really need another couple hands. I don't care how tough you are. Sometimes you just need another couple hands to steady things up. So, no, wait. And wait for that. It doesn't matter if it's a kid, teenager, your spouse, whatever. Just wait. Say no. I'm not going to do it. But if you're anything like me, you just go and do it most of the time. And you look down and you go, how the hell did I do all that? I got shit just popped up over here and pushed up over there. I'm contorting over here, and I'll get it done. Peggy says, how's the missus doing? She's doing great. She's doing great. All her system is running fine. She's happy. Ready for summer. Had our final delivery of heat and oil yesterday. Another $817. But I tell you what, we figured that down to the penny. What we had set aside for heat and oil is what we used. And this will last us up the rest of the season, and then into fall and winter before we need another fill. But yeah, she's happy. Not happy about doing the property work. And this time I'm going to do most of it myself because she's probably not going to be able to take the time off. So she doesn't like it when I go. I remember when I was back. Oh, a long time ago. I remember I'd have to go places. I'd teach stuff. And, she hated that. she just hated it. It's like, look, I'm only gone 3 or 4 days. I'm only a couple hours away. I can call you the whole time. That's not a problem. She just hated it, not having me around the house. But, yeah. She's doing good. Looking forward to the good weather coming up. Winter's over. She hates winter. She thought about moving down south. It's like, we like New Hampshire. I like the 4 seasons. Then you'd have to transfer everything. You got to worry about guns again, and license again, and everything, getting everything transferred over. Get all your bank and all transfer. It's like, what a pain in the ass. That's fine when you're 25. Get up in the uppers. Not so fun. Yeah, it's so much easier just being here. I keep telling her, if we keep doing our finances right and we get everything, we can just, if we can retire and not have to worry about money, then winter ain't so bad. I'll say winter's a fun season if you don't have to worry about heat. You don't have to worry about shoveling snow. Not that you don't have to shovel, but no, having nice tools to shovel. Yeah, Gus goes, yeah, I know about that. Gus got all the goodies. And if you can, have fun. If you're snowmobiling or skiing, if you like skiing. It's been ages since I'm skiing. I kind of like to, but I'm kind of worried again because if I hurt myself, it takes a lot more to get me going. And it's been a good while since I've skied. I was pretty good at it, but I ain't 30 anymore. Yeah, you double that number and you're like, no. Unless you've been doing it the whole time. It's not something you want to just jump back into. So, yeah, she's doing great. She'll be pleased to know that someone asked about her. She listens. She listens every morning. Not every morning. She listens Monday morning and Thursday morning to the shows the night before. I'll hear her bitching about something. She'll be in her office. She'll be bitching. Or she'll be laughing. It's like, what are you laughing at? Yep. And the girls are doing fine. They're happy. My brother sent me one of my brothers sent me a picture. He went to the Cracker Barrel and there was a couple chickens. Oh, they were just sitting. They were dolls or something, chicken dolls, and they were sitting on a shelf. And he's like, I thought these might fit a couple of your gals. Like, oh shit. Oh, Gus says, yep, I don't know how I did everything back when I was working. I have a hard time now. Well, just slow things down. Slow things down. Realize that most of the shit that we got to do, it'll be there tomorrow. It doesn't mean you got to put it off forever, but it'll be there tomorrow. Do a little bit now, do a little bit next day. Or be like me with the snow. I said, fuck it. It snowed. Good. The bitch wants to throw some white shit. It's going to stay there. She gonna melt it when her polar swings the other way in a week. It's only about, 3 to 4 inches now after all the rain. Good. That's fine. It's the end of the season. She wants to do that. Let her do it. I'm not gonna throw my back out for that crap. Not gonna waste any time with a snow machine. No, not doing it. I said no. John said no. I wasn't in the mood. Tell you, you get to 60 degrees and you want to play this shit. That's the wrong. No. No. That's that. I have spoken. Peggy says it just takes us twice as long as it used to. That's okay. Yeah. What else you got to do? You got to sit? No. So just take your time. Get stuff done. Get a good pace. Think you're overworking yourself? Take a break. Again, what else you got to do? Sing a song. Hum a tune. I do a lot of, when I'm doing working and putter and stuff like that, I tend to do a lot of writing or arguing in my head. Argue in my head. Of course, that's what happens when I take a shower, too. She's like, you okay? Yeah. I was just sorting through some things. You can think of the show, but I'm talking to myself and not you folks. Oh, John's taking a shower again. Yeah, I work some things out. That's what I do. When everyone's young and they look at the old folks, and they're muttering away and they're just going, man, that's crazy. It's like, no, you wait. You wait. You see why the older people do what they do. You'd rather they work things out by themselves, even if it's out loud, than to work it out with you. Just let them be. They're fine. They're fine. Get off my lawn. Gus said he enjoyed blowing the snow today. I helped 6 of my neighbors. I was feeling neighborly. You hadn't had to do it for a month. Gus is like, yahoo! He climbs up on his tractor. There he goes. There's Gus. It was the yellow one? Is it yellow or white? The tractor, Gus. Yellow or white? It's light color, right? Trying to think. I was pulling. It's like, oh, is Sally here? Yeah, I didn't see her car. It's in the garage. A tractor. What is it? Yellow or white? Orange one. Orange one today. Uh-huh. Peggy says, yes, I tell younger people to enjoy their lives. One day they will be old too. Older. I'm never getting old. I'm Fuck this. Getting old. No. Yeah. No, that's fine. I was pretty much the same way when I was younger. Like I said, I'm an odd duck. If you knew me when I was 19, you knew me now. You go, yeah, it's John. No big swing. Yeah, pretty much the same. But most people, yeah, it's like, just relax. Enjoy your life. I probably missed out on some stuff that I didn't realize was important as it really was. But, yeah. Yep. But hey, it is what it is. Wow, we're pulling up onto the top of the hour. Was it the older folk session, bitching about aches and pains? And getting sick. Man, I get sick more than I used to. I've been fighting something off. Been on medication for another issue. Finally had to break down and get some a few days ago. Can't drink. It's like, no. Oh, this medication with alcohol can make your stomach bleed. It's like, well, that's not... Don't think I'm going to have a beer with dinner tonight. Don't think I'm going to have some whiskey. Let's let the medication do its thing. And I hate medication. Hate it. But yeah, get things sorted out. I don't agree with that. You have done exactly what you needed to do at the time. Well, that's true. Yeah, got me where I am today. But if I could have done some things, not major things. Well, there's a couple major things I probably should have done different. But my biggest thing when I was younger, if I could tell myself, and young people don't think this way, if I could really tell myself and make myself get it, I'd go back and tell myself that time is short. And before you know it, you're going to be at a point where the end years are going to be a lot shorter than the years that have gone by. And I'm sure all of us have sat down in the dark of the night at some time and thought about that. And it just, I don't know about you, but it sends that shiver up your spine. Because you do the math. You're like, ooh. Even if you do the math generous-wise, you got, ooh. Yeah. So I think that's what I would do. Judy says yes. I'd go back and tell myself the time is fleeting. It is limited. And when you're young, you don't think that. You have forever. You have forever. And you don't, well, I do. Because I'm immortal. But yeah. Yeah. Gus says, every one of us have had the same thought. Yeah, and the older you get and you start to, your family and loved ones and friends, they all just, they're not with you anymore. And then you're the only one left. So yeah, it's a sobering thought. It's a sobering thought. So I don't think about it often. Yeah, fuck y'all for bringing this shit up. It's like, shame on you. What'd you do? End a show like this? That's not good. But it makes things all the sweeter at the same time. It just, it does, because the importance of things, the moments, that touch, that hug, the seeing the grandkids, the talking to them. Yeah, Laurel says, tomorrow isn't promised. Live life to the fullest. Yeah, without being reckless. Live life to the fullest without being reckless. Don't live as if tomorrow won't be there, because that's, whoa, slow down there, Speed Racer. But no, yeah, well, Scripture tells us it'll come like a thief in the night. Nobody knows the hour. So, Judy says, the emotional cowboy, it's great to hear that it's how we all feel. Yeah, it's how we all feel. And sometimes it's good to hear it. So, you're not the only one. And you all know me. I'm a pretty stoic guy. I don't get worked up over stuff like that. But, sometimes it just, you go, Gus says, the little crap don't bother me anymore. And yep, I'm the last of my family. Yeah. It's like there ain't nobody there. I'm the only one here. I got a sister that lives in Maine, and then the rest lives in North Carolina and then Indiana. We're all over the place. Peggy says, yes, my grandkids are everything. Yeah, and see, the grandchildren, they don't get it, and a lot of times your kids won't get it either. They'll get it when they grow older. It's the little things. Laurel says, I no longer sweat the small stuff, and most of it's small stuff. Yeah, well, everything's small to me. Like, nothing's big to John. It's like, when I see somebody my own height or bigger than me, it's weird. It's weird. And I'm not a giant, but yeah, it's weird. But yeah, I try not to, I pick and choose my battles. I pick and choose what's important to me. This, again, is what pisses me off when there's other talking heads on the right and they just stir shit up for no reason. It's like, why are you getting people worked up like this? Stop it. Gus says, both my sisters and brothers are gone now. Yeah. Yeah, you guys are all... I said, the missus, she grew up with Gus and Sally. They're all in the same class. They all went to school together. Kind of like the old guard. Most of the other ones they're just fading away. The aunts and uncles going. Grandparents, parents, they're all gone. Quite honestly, it doesn't bother me as much as the fact that when I do the math for myself, that bothers me. But I'm pretty much a lone wolf. I moved up here. And, the missus, she grew up here, so all of her families and stuff and they were all pretty tight. I was like, man, your family's all together? My family's, pew, 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 pew. They're everywhere. I left when I was a teen. Then I joined the Army when I was 17. Traveled the world. Did the thing. Didn't settle down around my family. Wasn't a consideration. I kept in touch with everybody. But I wasn't one of those guys that I needed. I need that close knit. It's like, man, you and your sisters you're still talking together. Holy crap! It's always funny. Big family. Not going to get into the family. Big family, and they had the girls. And every time it's like, which one are you? Doesn't matter. It's like, go anywhere. It's like, oh yeah, which one are you? Because everybody knew the family. Gus will tell you, everybody knew her family. Her and her sisters. Her brother. But yeah. Oh my goodness. Where was I going? We just went around the barn with that one. But yeah, cherish the simple things. Don't get worked up over the simple shit like Mother Nature throwing a bunch of snow. It's going to be gone. I'm not picking it up. It's there. It's there. Not fighting her. Not doing it. Not worth my time. I'm writing some articles and putting them online. That's what I'm doing. I ain't shoveling that shit. Slop. Gus ain't here to move it. Oh my goodness. Well, it's we have topped the hour and starting to slide down. So hey, thank you all for showing up. Gus says I always close to my sister and brother. Yeah, say I wasn't. No. I just did my own thing. But different grown-up situation. So thank you all for coming to the show. Peggy says good night all, and thank you, John. You're welcome, Peggy. Thanks for showing up. Donna may or may not have joined us. She didn't say anything. Judy, good night. Y'all, sweet dreams. Laurel says, good show, good night, sleep well. Gus says, you are too far to drive to blow the driveway. Yeah, no, I get it. But I've been the same way. If I had a machine like yours, I'd be out clearing every snowstorm. It's like, hey, it's fun. But yeah. Thank you all for joining the show. Next show will be Wednesday night. Oh, see, there's Donna. She says, yeah, I did. Did Donna write something? When did Donna write something? I'm scrolling back up there. I didn't see Donna write anything. Let's keep scrolling up there. And this is as far as I can go. Yeah, I can't see anything. What was it, closer to the beginning of the show? I hope we didn't ignore you. Knowing me, I had to have read it. I just forgot about it. Oh, you said you didn't. Okay. So you pulled a Gus. You pulled a Gus coming in at the end of the show going, yeah, I was here. She goes, I'm not drawing fire this show. I'm just going to sit low and just watch things roll along. She was incognito. I was wondering who that was in the bushes over there, watching those numbers come and go. Donna was one of those numbers. But thank you for joining. Thank you for joining, Donna. See you all online. Folks, like this content or any other content, feel free to follow the links underneath the show. Like the show. Come back and comment even days later, make a post underneath the shows. Go ahead and go to my page and, my YouTube channel and just hit it up and go to each of the videos and just post something. Donna says, good show. Well, thank you. And, and other than that, folks, do what you feel led to do and can do to everything else that's underneath the show, in the description of the show. Yeah, closing down. Talk to you Wednesday here and Facebook and messages. Till then, God bless and take care.